They say in life, better late than never, but that wasn't the case with this match. I don't think it would have mattered how late I watched this match. This match was hard to watch. Right, guys, welcome back. Scotland TV, doing a quick review here of the Premier, not the Premier Sports, fuck me, my head's gone. Betfred Cup, Betfred Cup, Scottish League Cup, whatever you want to call it, the cup that Hearts got absolutely pumped in. We lost there on Sunday by a scoreline of 3 goals to 2, and in fairness, this really flatters us. I mean, Craig Gordon kept us in it. Craig Gordon made the scoreline respectable, but in all honesty, I mean, Celtic could have at least doubled their tally. They scored 6 against Dundee, in the league last week, and they could have easily scored 6 against us right here in this game. And to be fair, we were probably lucky to get our 2 goals. So, I mean, we'll start from the beginning. Craig Gordon, in the first 10 minutes, is forced into a great save, has to dive low. Right-handed save, Furuhashi's trying to put it in the corner. Craig Gordon gets down, makes a save. About 28 minutes into the game, Furuhashi, this guy is quality, by the way. Arguably, I know it's early to say, but he could be the best player in the league. I know I'm jumping the gun a wee bit. I've only seen him play like 3-4 games, but from what I have seen, this guy is fucking quality, and I'd put him right up there. I mean, I think he might be the best player in the league. He plays an epic ball outside his foot through to Forrest. It just cuts open the Hearts back line. I mean, it's an epic ball. It just swerves it round the defenders. Forrest then slides it into Edouard, and Edouard has the easiest finish, the easiest opening goal you're going to get. Not a lot Craig Gordon could do about it, and at this stage we're 1-0 down. Then pretty much straight away it was Celtic firing again. This time it was Turnbull, picks out a pass, finds Edouard in the middle of the box. Edouard was about at the centre circle where the penalty spot is, manages to sidestep the Hearts defender, and he has a clear shot at goal, and somehow Gordon manages to save this, but this should have been 2-0. I mean, good save by Craig Gordon, but Edouard really should have finished better here. Awful from Edouard, to be honest. I don't think there's any excuse. I mean, originally the touch to create the space was great, but to not score for here, regardless of it being a good save for Gordon, I thought was really poor for Edouard. Then it was another free kick for Celtic. Turnbull hits the wall. He gets the rebound. He completely mistimes his volley. Volleys it into the ground, over the wall, and somehow Kyogo runs onto it and just about gets a foot on it. He can't direct it in, but almost. It was close enough. He had a wee collision with Craig Gordon, who helped him up. I mean, if we had any chance of winning this game, Craig Gordon should have probably stuck the boot into him while he was in the ground. I think that was when our chance went. Then it was a corner for Celtic. Ball whipped in from, I believe it was Furuhashi actually whipped in this. Yeah, I think it was, It was Furuhashi whips in the ball. And Welsh was there, unmarked. Halkett behind him. I mean, what good is it behind you need to be in front of him to win the ball. You need to prevent him from getting a clear header. Halkett didn't do that. Can't expect Craig Gordon to save this. It's placed right in the middle. Celtic then lead 2-0. We'll get into the break, and it's been embarrassing. I mean, it was only 2-0, but it really could have been 4-5 if it wasn't for Craig Gordon pulling off a bunch of great saves. We then start the second half, and there's another 2 quick saves for Craig Gordon. First one, Furuhashi even passes it in. Edouard's on like the edge of the 6-yard box. Gordon manages to come out, get his body in the line, saves it with his chest, I believe. Decent save again. Then a corner for Celtic. I don't know who. I can't remember who whipped it in, but Edouard with again pretty much giving a clean header. Gordon manages to dive over and get another hand on it. At the moment, this is just all Celtic, and Craig Gordon, I feel sorry for him, because he's having a fucking amazing game here, but you know he's going to be on the losing team, which kind of sucks. We then get another Celtic attack. I mean, it is all Celtic here. Their attacking plays, it's scary, it's frightening. It is. I mean, I think they're going to pump Rangers when they play them first game of the season. I honestly do. Another ball crossed in. Craig Gordon gets another touch on it. Falls to Roderick. He strikes it. There's a deflection. It narrowly whips past the post. Craig Gordon managed to get back up on his feet though, and I don't know if he had it covered or not, but thankfully, it just went past the post. Then Hearts, long ball up. I mean, first real attempt, first thing we really done. Long ball up to Ginnelly, who, I mean, control. It was a good ball to Ginnelly for Suter. It was a fucking great ball, to be fair. Ginnelly picks it out, plays it in to Liam Boyce. Doesn't find Liam Boyce, he finds Starfelt instead, but Starfelt's so shit that he takes a horrible touch. Liam Boyce manages to nip in front of him. Starfelt kicks out. Boyce goes down. I mean, there wasn't much in it, but in today's world, I guess that's a penalty. You know, it was a stupid penalty to give away for Starfelt, but we needed it because we were garbage, and it was probably the only way we were going to score. Then we do score for the penalty. Liam Boyce, you know, bangs it in. And we took Halliday off at half time, by the way, who was absolute shite. I've never rated Halliday, and I know he's had a decent start to the season, and he scored a goal and he's assisted a goal, so it makes me look like an arsehole if I'm constantly criticising the guy, but I think he's pish. I think he's pish. I don't care if he goes out and scores 10 goals in the next game, right? He's still shite in my opinion, and he's definitely not somebody I think is good enough to... I mean, maybe as a squad player we could have him, but to be a regularly starting, man, what? To be in the starting 11? That just doesn't sit right with me. But anyway, 2-1, you think we're back in the game? Well, don't worry guys, because we ain't. Celtic go back up the park, and it's Furuhashi out on the left-hand side. Now, to me, this looks like a great... Apparently, Craig Gordon... I've seen people criticising Craig Gordon. Now, I don't know how you can criticise him based on this game, because the guy was fucking phenomenal. But, I mean, apparently, Craig Gordon got a touch on this, and he directed it into the net. That's not what I seen. It looked like Furuhashi just, you know, manages to squeeze it in. But here, if Craig Gordon did get a touch on this, and it wasn't enough to keep it out, then... You know, stop blaming the guy, because he was great here, you know. He was. I'm not having it. And Craig Gordon was probably the best player on the pitch, at least a bit. I mean, the only Hearts player I'd give a pass mark to. Although, it's that harsh on some of the defence. Then again, did we really defend well? Because we were ran ragged, so I don't know. I mean, yeah, but yeah, Craig Gordon, one of the best players on the pitch today. Furuhashi, though, makes it 3-1. There was a couple more chances. Then, you know, late into the game, we get another goal with McInnes. I believe it took a slight deflection and squeezed its way in at the corner of the post, and it ends 3-2. Really, really bad result. I mean, it doesn't look that bad, but in reality, 3-2 is probably one of the most one-sided 3-2s I've ever seen. I mean, normally if you lose 3-2 at Celtic Park to Celtic, you're like, oh, we played, you know, you thought, oh, we gave them a good game, we put up a good fight. I mean, that wasn't the case here. Combination of, you know, Craig Gordon being great and maybe a combination of luck. I'm not too sure. What I have seen is a lot of people saying Robbie Nielsen out. I think, again, ridiculous. I mean, fuck me. Yeah, it's one game. We were undefeated going into this game. I mean, we beat Celtic in the opening day of the season. What more do you want? You want to beat Celtic every fucking game this season? 5 wins out of 5 against Celtic. Should we beat Rangers 5 out of 5 as well if we get them in a cup? What about Hibs? Well, we were going 1-4, you know, fucking Edinburgh derbies. Nonsense to suggest Robbie Nielsen out at this stage just because he lost one game. You know, unbelievable. I'm not happy about it. Yeah, the performance was shite, and we should have lost a hell of a lot more than 3-2. But to say Robbie Nielsen out, it's kind of ridiculous. And earlier, I'm going to end up with one thing. Earlier in the season, well, I say earlier in the season, at the start of the season, I made a predictions for the finishing table of the Scottish Premiership, or the Cinch Premiership, whatever you want to call it. Cinch is such a shite name, but here, call it what you want. I predicted Rangers would win the league. Well, I'm changing my mind. I know technically you can't do that, but when I made this prediction, I'd only seen Celtic play one game. I'd watched a couple of their highlights. I mean, I watched the highlights of the game where West Ham beat them, and I seen a couple of highlights from the first draw against Midtjylland, but the only competitive game I'd seen from Celtic before I made that predictions video was the defeat, the extra time defeat to Midtjylland away, and I had £250 on them as well that night, so maybe that clouded my judgment. You know, I was a bit pissed off. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the video on Fog Football. If you haven't, go check it out. It was a pretty good rant in my opinion, and I said that Celtic would be nowhere near Rangers, and that I thought they would just narrowly finish ahead of Aberdeen. Well, I'm going to come out and say that I was talking absolute shite. Since then, I'm still not sure about defensively, because to me Starfelt doesn't look a good player, and I mean Welsh might have scored there. Ralston's had a couple of good games, but let's be honest, they're not the kind of players that you need to be starting throughout the season if you're going to try and win the title. I do think Celtic need to make a couple more defensive signings, but I mean going forward, this Furuhashi guy, Jesus Christ, phenomenal. Could be the best player I've seen in Scotland in years. I'm going to go and say, I think he is. I'm going to say Furuhashi. He's better than Edouard. He's better than Morelos. And I know I've only seen him play a couple of games, but the movement, the skill, the technique for the guy, his finishing, he anticipates where the ball's going to be. His reaction speeds. I mean, this guy just seems different gravy, and I didn't see it coming. Right? I mean, I don't watch Japanese football. When I seen him came, I thought, honestly, I thought this guy's going to be a flop. He'll probably, sell some shirts and stuff like that. But I didn't think, to me, the people say, Nakamura was a legend. To me, that I can see this guy being, far superior to Nakamura when he was in a Celtic shirt. But yeah, I'm changing my predictions. Probably not allowed to do that, but I'm going to go out and say it right now. Celtic will win the league. They will win the league. I think, from what I've seen Celtic Day in the first half against us here and in the first game against Dundee, that attacking display that I've seen is better than anything I've seen for Rangers. Now, last season, Rangers were solid. That's why they won the league, right? It helped that Celtic were shit as well, but I mean, they barely conceded goals. There was a lot of games I thought last season where Rangers were winning, by 1-0 or 2-0, and they weren't necessarily, destroying teams. They were hard. I'm going to say they were hard to beat. They weren't hard to beat. They didn't get beat, So last year they were impossible to beat, and they had to beat them. But it was more Rangers just being solid and defensively good, and then winning by the odd goal. I didn't see Rangers rip teams apart like I've seen this Celtic attack do against Dundee and in this game against Hearts here. So I'm changing my predictions. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think 2-1. I think that's. I'm not going to say it's printing money, right? But I would stick your money on Celtic to win the league. I've changed my mind, and it pains me to say it, but we were absolutely demolished today. And you know what? 3-2 is an injustice. It really was. And one last thing before I do leave. One last thing to say. See those North sheep shagging Aberdeen bastards, man, right? Cost me 250 quid. Had an £80 treble on. I wasn't even greedy. I factored in the fact that they played in Europe in the week during the week, and I thought, you know what? I'll take Aberdeen just to progress through the tie. I didn't need them to win in 90 minutes. I just needed them to progress, just to qualify. And they couldn't beat Rafe fucking Rovers after taking the lead. I mean, 1-0 up against Rafe Rovers and they lost. And then the Aberdeen fans are coming out and saying, I don't care, it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. Because I forgot that Aberdeen are winning all the cups. You know what I mean? Aberdeen, they don't need Mickey Mouse Cups because they're winning all the legit cups. See the Premier Leagues and the Scottish Cups? I mean, they've got a shitload of them in the trophy bank in recent years, you know what I mean? The only trophy they've won, probably not in my lifetime, but the only trophy I can remember them ever winning since I've been born is one of these, allegedly Mickey Mouse Cups. So, yeah, embarrassing for Aberdeen. As for the cup, the draw, the next round, the last 8, both Old Firm teams avoided each other. We're still on for an Old Firm final. First Old Firm game of the season, and the league's coming up soon, and I'm really looking forward to it. And I think I know who my money's on, guys. But let me know down below in the comments who's your money on, and what did you think of this Hearts performance? Again, it was poor. We weren't good, but again, I think you have to take into consideration Celtic were great. And it's one bad game, guys. No, I mean, one bad game. Let's not throw the toys at the pram. Fuck me. I mean, Robbie Nielsen, 1 minute he's wanting to suck his dick, and the next minute he's hating me, he's wanting him out. It's kind of sad, you know what I mean? Let's just give him the season, right? I think we'll finish 5th. I don't think we'll get any higher than 5th. We're just newly promoted, come on. Do I think we'll finish any lower than 5th? I mean, we could. I'll be honest, if Nielsen doesn't get top 6, I would be disappointed. If he gets 5th, I'll be happy. If he gets 6th, I'll be alright with 6th, I guess. If he gets any higher than 5th, then I think he's had a really, good season. Anyway, that's it, guys. That is my not my predictions. Fuck, the match already happened. Predictions. Fuck, what am I talking about? That's my review, right? Heads fried watching this match. Till next time. It was a shite day at the office, but here we're still undefeated in the league, right? Still above Celtic in the league. So enjoy it while it lasts. Till next time. Peace.